let's go ahead and get going. I'm glad you guys are here. Oh, it's not on. Sorry. Hold on. Now it will be on. There we go. We are recording this because we have folks who are on vacation and could not be here tonight. So we'll be recording this, and I will be posting a video of this, or sending a video for them later. And if you know somebody who's not here that needs to see this video, just let me know and we'll get it to them as well. Nothing formal about it or anything. To be very honest, I am just kind of tired, and I didn't even think about praying with the last group. Some of you are still here from the last group, so I'm going to pray for us, and we'll just reciprocate that back to that Kids Life meeting we just got out of. So let's pray. Father, thank you for today, and thank you for the opportunity that we have to be here and gathered again. God, I know that there's uncertainty and excitement. And God, somewhere in the midst of that is our faith, trying to figure out what's a test, and God, what's just obedience. And God, we all find ourselves in different places. And I just want to ask that you would, God, you would just ease our minds, ease our spirits. God, help us to work diligently to make this opportunity to come back to church work. And God, it's going to take all of us to make it happen. So we give this time to you, and I pray that you would direct our conversations in Jesus' name. Amen. So is Sherry in the room? Okay, there she is. So Sherry's kind of been helping me oversee all this throughout this time and put this stuff together. So let me just kind of start with a walkthrough of what you experienced today as you came in. As you notice, we have the lobby area blocked off so that it's not accessible. You can't get over to the side where Kids Life registration is at, or over to where the store supplies, our resource center is at, and that sort of thing. So here is what you're going to see on a Sunday morning. On Sunday morning, there will be greeters who will be at the door, who will be holding the door open so that no one touches the door. We need ushers and other host team members to be at interior doors to make sure those doors get open and close. On a Sunday morning, you'll come through the front doors, and each of the stanchions are 6 foot apart in the lobby, those black roped off things. And we'll be using those as markers to keep people separated. And then you'll come to the door where ushers will find out how many is in a party, and then we'll point them to the various areas of the room where seating is available. You see in this room we have aisles that are 6 foot in every direction. So there's 6 foot of distance in each direction. We have aisles of 3, we have aisles of 4, and we have 2 aisles, 2 sections of 5, and then another section of 3. There's 9, and then there's a group of 4 or 5 chairs in the back, for a total of 94 seats. This room seats 272 people. So we are not even at a half of our capacity. And right now, for this coming Sunday, we have somewhere between 76 and 80 people signed up to be in this room. That includes band members, that includes our AV team, and all of those folks who signed up. So on a Sunday morning, that's how people will enter into the room. For those who want coffee, we have our coffee bar that we just have constructed. It has been put outside. It will be outside on the portico. The portico is being patched. We're going to be painting that and making a very nice, clean area. And then coffee will be provided out there by someone or by 2 people who will be serving, both gloved and masked, for the protection of people who are getting coffee. Then the restrooms will only be accessible through this door over here. So if you're an usher or a host team person, guest services, whatever role you play, if someone's asking, how do I get to the restrooms are located out the door back into the lobby, and that will be the door that we use for the restrooms. But this door here, and the area that's marked off by the stanchions and the desk, tables, will only be an entrance and exit to the auditorium. So as you can see, the auditorium lobby is not a gathering place. Any gathering, you're welcome to gather outside of a safer environment than in here. And that's what we're working towards. Our service is going to look different. I mentioned a little bit about this morning, but our service is going to look different. First and foremost, we're trying to create a touchless experience for people so that everyone feels safe coming here. And to do that, things that we've done Again, having people opening it, all the doors for everyone. We will not be taking an offering. We have offering boxes that have been built, and we have one at the door there at the rear. We have one at the main door, and we also have one in the back door here. There's a good chance that one over there, because that area is blocked off, will be moved into the lobby area. But at this time, that's where those are placed. Envelopes will not be in the chairs. Bibles will not be out in the chairs. Pens will not be out in the chairs. All those things will be removed. Offering envelopes will be available at guest services. And so we will let people know if they need an offering envelope to stop by guest services, and they will hand one out to who needs it. And they will be wearing gloves as well. Next, as part of our service time is going to be cut down from an hour and 15, 20 minutes to an hour, because our Kids Life area, we've had to eliminate snacks from their time, and obviously any games that were where kids might touch one another. So they've lost a significant amount of their curriculum time, and so we're going to adjust our worship time, both in teaching and music, to accommodate that. And when the service is over, ushers, we're going to need you to dismiss sections of the auditorium a little bit at a time, so that everyone's not in one area going out. Now, that being said, what I'd like to do is every week we alternate which area we let out first, specifically so that as people show up, we start at the back, and next week everybody might want to be at the back so that they can get out quick. We'll just move it around. We're going to throw them off, okay? And we'll keep them guessing. But all that being said, one last thing in regards to the seating in here. Some people will come with families. Some people will come with individuals but have been around other people, and they will want to sit with those groups. And that will be just fine. In fact, we will need that to happen. For example, in my mom's small group, there's multiple ladies that she's been seeing over this time that she's comfortable sitting with, and they've got 4 or 5 that they're okay sitting together with, and we'll let them do that. We're going to ask, if at all possible, to try to arrive at the same time, but even if that doesn't happen, if they know somebody's here for them, you can let them sit with those people. But generally speaking, a group will arrive, you'll find out how many they have, and you will direct them to the next available seating for that area. We, at this point in time, we're not going to do a official sign-up, but we are trying to keep numbers so we know for sure how many people we have coming. Now then, there's a few other things that we need to talk about. I have really just kind of gotten off path, but I wanted to show you or tell you what the experience was like. So I'm going to start with greeters, and I believe that's Mike and Lynn, Patty, you guys are greeters, is that right? So with greeters, basically we just need you to hold the doors. We really would encourage you, if you would, to wear a mask, because you're going to be in close proximity to people, and that just gives them comfort. But we would like for you to do that. Gloves are not necessary, not touching anybody. We're, no handshaking, no high-fiving, no hugging, as much as you want to, as safe as you might feel, somebody else may not. And also a guest might see that and feel like they're not safe here. So we want to be careful with that sort of thing. So greeters will be holding the doors. Guest service people, we would like for you to wear masks and gloves, because you will be handing out information. And then you're going to be answering questions, giving out offering envelopes. But then this is very, very important. Most people don't even know about this yet. They want to hear about it this week. But our state is doing a process called contact tracing. Contact tracing basically is a way for us to keep up with who's here on a Sunday morning. So if we should have a case of COVID-19 that gets into the building, somebody comes in with it on Sunday, and the following Monday they call and say, hey, we want you to know, we were at church last Sunday, and we have COVID-19. We are supposed to have a way to contact those people that were here and let them know we had a case of COVID-19 and you could be exposed. Now, the state has asked us to do that, and the best way we know how to do that is we've created a digital form, a digital connection form or contact form on our website. We have redesigned, we're in the process of redesigning our website with a new company, and we will actually have a Lifeway Church app that you can download to your phone. And everything that's on the website will be in app format, so very easy, accessible. It formats to your phone well. You'll be able to see that. But until that time, this past week, we reformatted our current website to make it app-like. And so in the middle of, I can't show you here on, perhaps show you here, but in the middle of our website, there are two buttons. One is a connection card, and one is a response card. And the connection card is what we will give at the beginning of service, or ask people to fill out at the beginning of service for contact tracing. The connection card, if you'll give me a minute, I'll explain that to you, because people may ask you why or what we're doing and all that sort of stuff. And you will not necessarily be able to see this, but this is what our website now looks like. Digital connection card. So a person clicks on that, and here are the questions. Very simple questions, very quick. Name, email, phone number. I prefer to be contacted by email, phone, or text. And then I have this many attending with me today. We need that information, because that way we're able to get in touch with those people. They're only required to give one source of contact, which is a phone number. We're not going to call them for any other purpose. That's not the intent of this form. This is only for contact tracing. And so on Sunday morning on the screen, there will be something that says, please go to golifeway.com, click on our digital connection card, and register for contact tracing, or register that you're here today. I'll figure out the words this week. But anyway, register that you're here so that we know that you're with us today. That's what that form will be like. And then we also, instead of using connection cards like are in the chair, what we have also done is we have created a digital response card. And I introduced that this morning, and basically it's exactly what we've used in the chair all these times. It gives people a chance to respond to the message for that day. And so all that is online. If somebody doesn't have the capacity to do that, then we're going to let them know to stop by guest services. And Sherry, I assume you have a pad. Did you bring it with you? Okay. We have a pad. Basically, it's just a name and a contact number, so we know how we can reach people in case we need to. So that is the next thing that we have that we've put in place for all of this. So guest services. If somebody doesn't have a way to do that online, then they will come to guest services so they can ask you about contact tracing. We're going to have to adjust a few of the things in our lobby to give space for that, and we'll figure all that out this week. And then the other thing, guest services, we need to do is help manage. We need someone to manage the women's restroom. The way the CBC has asked churches and house of worships to consider using restrooms, if you're going to do it all, actually they've asked us not to use restrooms, and I just don't think that's feasible. But what they recommended is that we let one family unit in the restroom at a time. And so what that means is that one of you ladies needs to get the restroom, you're welcome to go. If you have a daughter or someone in your household who's going with you, then you can go in together. But beyond that, it would be one person at a time. We'll have to have someone who stands at the door and says, someone's in the restroom, if you'll hold just a moment. We also will need a man to do that as well for the men's restroom. So that's another area that we'll talk about in a second. Ushers, let's get to you. We need you to, again, man these doors, hold these interior doors and let people in. Point people to available seats. It would be best if you would escort them, because you can help them practice social distancing as they're going. Because it's really easy to start back there and make your way around all of these chairs and end up over here somewhere because you want to speak to people. And we need to try to get people to the places they need to go. Orderly dismissal, which I've already mentioned, and then we need you, one of you ushers, to help manage the men's restroom, doing exactly the same thing. One family unit in the restroom at a time. Hospitality team, this would be Susan. We're trying to find another person to help her with our coffee bar. Again, we moved our coffee bar outside, so it'll be an outdoor serving station. They'll be using gloves and masks for serving. They'll be handing out the coffee and handing out condiments, so no one is touching any of our supplies. And so we don't have any sort of transfer stuff like that. I've already mentioned the no inside gathering area, the offering stations. I've already mentioned that. The other thing, I haven't mentioned this before, but for you guys, just so you know, because Lifeway at Home is going to continue, it's going to be an ongoing thing. We'll never stop Lifeway at Home, nor will we stop doing our children's experience online that we're doing right now. So our Sunday morning format, it's going to change. There's not going to be a lot. You will not see announcement times during the service and all of that sort of thing. It will be a time of worship, a time of message, a time of response, and that will be it. And what people see online, they'll see that with an introduction video that's pre-recorded and played. And so it'll be very much like, if you watch another pastor on TV, that's what you're going to see. Because that's the way that we've been taught and trained and how to put it together. I already mentioned no handouts because of the contact tracing, and we don't want to pass anything around, so we won't use any handouts. Again, we'll be utilizing screens, and on our website and then on our new app, there will be a button that will be added eventually that will say upcoming events and vital information that will have all the information about the goings on of Lifeway. So everything will be moving in a very digital format as we move forward. Sherry, is there anything else that I have not covered at this moment? I know I haven't talked about the protocols of cleaning and all that stuff, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Alvin, anything?
Just gonna say, I want to clarify, I know there's been some stuff on about the contact tracing and all these apps that are coming out and all that, and my understanding, our app's not like that, it's for us.
Thank you, this is not connected to any other apps or platforms or websites or anything like that. I know that there are these new apps that are coming out that basically let you know where cases of COVID-19 is at, so you can stay away, or you might have it also. It is nothing like that. This app or this digital connection card literally sends a database of who was here that day to me, to Sherry, and to Alvin. And then we'll take that and save that in a file. And if somebody calls us next week and says, hey, I was in church Sunday and I've got COVID-19, or I might have COVID-19, at that point, we would reach out to those people who attended service that Sunday. That's all it is. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, also the app is something we've been looking at for the church. It just helps people be able to better search and find out what's going on in the church.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah, so as we're doing all this, and this will be very helpful, especially those of you who work with guest services, this new app that we will have built, if you look at most church apps today, again, I can't show you one. I'll show you those that are on my phone. But if you look at a church app today, church apps, they tend to take whatever information is on the website and basically put it on your phone, your digital device, and it doesn't transfer very well. The formats, the layouts, all that sort of stuff. If you look up stuff on your phone from a website, it just doesn't look very good. And that makes it hard, and it's discouraging for people to use. And so we made the decision. We actually have been looking at this. We were looking at this before all of this started, and this has forced us to do this. We have found a way to consolidate a lot of different applications we were already using to one company that provides all of this. Our giving platform is going to change from what we currently have, which is EasyTithe, that will change to another company that is part of all of this. We were able to reduce our price a little bit and get the app. And again, the app is branded for us. So most apps, you go online and you find or download a little thing that says the church app. And then you have to search and find your church, and then that's what you do every week. Our app will be a branded Lifeway app. So you search the App Store on your iPhone or on your Android device for Lifeway Church, and it will pop up. And when you download it, it will put our logo on your phone so that you can always go and click on that phone, and everything, or on that app, and everything that you're looking for will be right there, formatted specifically for your phone. Very easy, very accessible. So that's the thing. Yes, Sherry. Yes, all volunteers or servant leaders will need to fill out the form as well. And you can do that before you come. You don't have to wait till you get here. That can be done. If you know you're going to be here and you're getting ready for church, go ahead and fill it out. It just makes it easy. You don't have to worry about it when you get here. But we do need to know that who all is in the building. That way, if you come in contact, we can contact you. Yes, sir. Jaime?
Are we legally responsible to insist somebody fills out?
No, we cannot require somebody to do it. Cannot be required, and we will not do that. But it's just like a mask. It's legally been proven in the last 10 days that you cannot legally require someone to wear a mask in a store or in a church or anywhere else. So masks will be, we actually will have We have some masks already. I have someone else who called me today and said, I got 100 masks that I made for so-and-so. That deal fell through. Can I just give them to you guys? So we will have masks available. If somebody needs a mask, we'll be glad to provide them with a mask. We have that available to do.
2 questions.
Yes, ma'am.
The contact tracing,
Yes.
we as regular attenders, we would do that every week.
Every week. When I was in traditional church 25 years ago, at the end of every pew, they had a little notebook, and we all would have a time during the service. We'd fill out our information and pass it down. Everybody would fill it out. And on Monday morning, the secretary would go in and pull those sheets out, and they knew who all was at church on Sunday morning. Basically, it's the same thing. It just adds work to sharing.
Second question is, for those of us that are required to wear masks in our jobs,
Yes.
we have the cover. Can I take it off when I come in?
Yes, yeah, you only have to wear the mask at the location that you're at. Okay, and we have masks that are coming. We have handmade masks, and we also have sterilized one-time use masks. Whatever is most comfortable for you to use. And if you have your mask, that's fine. Whatever you want to use. I'm just saying, we have masks available. All right? Any other questions?
More of a comment, I mean.
Okay.
The contact card is a good idea, because it can be used for other purposes as well. We have a measles outbreak in kids like or something like that. We don't have to put it on Facebook that, hey, we're contaminated.
Right.
Let the world know.
Yeah.
Contact tools here, and we're done.
Yeah, we're not going to put any more, hey, my kid had lice, it wasn't kids like today. Yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. You think that's funny, but watch our Facebook post, you'll see. So, yeah, this is a way to accommodate all of those things. So, those things happen, they're a reality, and it's okay, but that's not real good advertising on a social media platform. Alvin.
Is there a different word that we can use, we talk about kids like that, those words that kind of vocabulary we're using to describe things, other than contact tracing, that gives us persona that we're smiling at everybody or whatever, or a way to make sure that we define the way that we want it to go, that we're just basically asking you to register instead of,
Yeah, and there's a thought on both sides of that. The first thought is the less formal we make it, the less likely people are to fill it out. And then the more formal we make it, the more people are going, I'm not giving my information to anybody. And so there's not really a good answer there. I mean, we've asked people online for the last 3 or 4 weeks about using our connection card to let us know they're watching, and that's not going over very well. Now, again, in-house might be different, but I mean, you're the hype guy. You're the guy that's going to come out 10 minutes before the service and get everybody hyped up and get them to do all this stuff. So, whatever terminology you come up with works for me. No, but again, like I said, announcements and all that will be pre-service, so all that information will go out beforehand, and it won't be on camera, so it'll just be those in the room, and we can explain those things. When we announce this week, we will be putting out, so I'll tell you this, some of you already heard this in Kids Life meeting, but this week, beginning Tuesday, we'll actually be filming what it's like to come to Lifeway and experience worship. And what I mean by that is we will show what it will be like to come to the coffee bar and get a cup of coffee, what it will be like to come through the front doors, what it will be like to stand at the stanchions, what it will be like to wait for an usher to point out seating to you, what it will be like for offering, all those kinds of things. As much as we can do, we're going to make short, like 2-3 minute videos, a sequence of them, and put those out throughout the week, both for what happens in here and what happens in Kids Life. And as we do that, we can communicate some of those things at that time as well. So people are not going to come in not knowing what's going on. One of the things we will communicate is that you'll want to arrive early to make sure you can get to your seating in an adequate time for the service to start. Next. Yes, sir.
What are you gonna do if we get 92 people here and then another?
We're going to turn away whoever comes. We can't do that. And that's today, this morning, one of the things I said is we have a hard cutoff for our numbers. 94 in here. And technically 94 is not the problem. We could put more people in here, but we can't put more chairs in here. Not at 6 feet.
You may not actually get 94
Exactly, because of seating and things like that, and we know that. So we feel like we're going to be able to keep our numbers based upon what we've had so far. We think we can keep our numbers. Also, one of the things that we've talked about with our band and things like that is giving them another area to sit in and using a TV or something for them to watch service so that they don't take up seating. Kathy.
So on this question, are we supposed to register or let you know every week, every Sunday, or?
When well, at this point in time, we asked for a number to get an idea of what we were looking for, and based upon our experience next week, we'll decide if the next week we're going to require registration. We may have to do that, but my guess is if we feel like we're going to start hitting 94 or going over 94, then we're going to figure out how to add a second service. When we add that second service, we'll have one service that has children, and one service that will on Kids Life, and one service will not. One service will have a full band, one service will probably have an acoustic set, and that it'll be a first come first serve registration for that. Right now, between 76 and 80 people, but some of those are serving in some different capacities and wouldn't be in this room. We have a list of that. We're keeping a running list. The other thing I wanted to walk through is just protocol of cleaning, so you kind of know what's going on. If somebody were to ask you questions, we could let them know what's happening. So before all this stuff started, if you go all the way back to March, our very first week that we didn't meet, that week when all these the information about COVID came out, we scrambled and we purchased all sorts of cleaning solutions and things recommended by the CDC so that we would have everything we needed as we met that Sunday. Well, of course, we haven't met since March 15th as a group, and we have those supplies, but also in the meantime, we've acquired more supplies to make sure that we have everything we need to protect everyone here. The only thing that we do not have on site, and we will not have because you cannot get it until late June, is hand sanitizing stations. We have purchased $750 roughly in touchless hand sanitizing stations that will be placed throughout our building. Those units should be in again late June. We have hand sanitizing stations that are already in place. We have hand sanitizer in every classroom. We will have multiple bottles of hand sanitizer out there. I think Sherry and I kind of made sure we had all that we needed for those stations. So there is hand sanitizer, or will be. There will be everywhere now, but we'll have even more once those units come in. We have the soap in the restrooms and all those sorts of things, paper towels, cleaning supplies that are sanitizing solutions, even down to a chemical that we will spray on soft surfaces such as our chairs after our service that will kill COVID or anything connected to COVID in 4 minutes. So we don't have to worry about that. That will be taken care of. We'll start that process this week. It'll be sprayed before next Sunday, and then after next Sunday it'll be sprayed, and after our students meet in here it'll be sprayed, and that kind of thing. We'll make sure that that's taken care of. In the way of the cleaning protocols, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're working toward. Let me find my list here. So all of our standard cleaning protocols that we had before this happened will still be in place. But what we will do as we go forward is that we will have a list, and we've been working on this list this week. We have a list that includes everything from wiping down door pushes, door knobs, light switches, all those things, and everything they prefer. C-Series prefers you wipe it down, not spray it. The wipe does a better job of sanitizing the surface. And this week, if you read anything this week on this, you know that they've actually said that the likelihood of surface to person spread of COVID-19 is minuscule. But they told us, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, who remembers, that you could touch it, and lived on surfaces for 6 or 7 or 8 days, you could touch it and get it. So we don't really know. So with that in mind, we're just going to take the best precautions we can take and the most err on the side of caution in every way that we can. So what we'll do is we've got wipes in all the classrooms. There'll be wipes for all the cleaning teams to do the cleaning, and everything will be wiped down. What we've done throughout this time is the band has continued to be here on Sunday morning, and our sound guys is, at some point in time when we're done, we come back in, we wipe everything down, even down to our microphones and all of our equipment. All that stuff is getting wiped down as soon as we finish or shortly after we're finished with everything. So we will continue that process. We're even going to make sure that when I leave, I make sure the exterior doors are wiped down and things of that nature. So all those things will continue as we've been doing. We'll spray the seating. They say, the CDC said it's not a good idea to fumigate, so there's no fumigation taking place. But that spray will be, the mist that we're putting on these chairs and everything should take care of pretty much what anybody will be touching in this room. I've already told you that all papers and all Bibles and everything will be removed, so there won't be anything like that for people to touch. So that shouldn't be a problem either. I know I'm forgetting something, Sherry. My mind is like blank when I got the protocols for cleanings. What else can you tell us?
What time do you want us here?
I'm sorry?
What time do you want us here?
What time to be here? That's a great question.
Thanks.
Nobody else has asked that question. Probably 7 a.m. Sunday. I'm just kidding. No, but I would think, especially next Sunday, probably being here for those who don't. I mean, you have coffee prep, so you probably need to be here a little early just to make sure. So maybe between 8 and 15. But for everybody else, I would say for at least this Sunday, if you get here a little earlier, 9:15, so we make sure everything's in place and we can walk through everything. We're recording this moment right now. We're recording this meeting for those that can't be here, and we'll help them go over or go through all of that and make sure that they're in tune with what's going on. Yes, sir, buddy. Then I'll go, Jake.
You said it's gonna be kind of like TV, past format, the same way we sell a prayer call.
Well, depending on how this goes and the cost for hand sanitizer, we might have to start selling those. A prayer shawl, listen, we might be selling these chairs, and we've prayed over this chair, and we're going to send it to you.
I'm always thinking about fundraising.
There you go. So hopefully we won't do that. But no, and what I mean by that with the whole TV church thing, it's just the service is going to be very fluid. Okay, it's just going to move. Again, 1 hour. And if you've noticed, we've been doing around that 1 hour. It's really easy when there's no one in the room because I just read from notes. I don't respond to people in the audience. That's going to be the hardest thing for me, is cutting that back. But we are cutting a song beginning next Sunday in our worship time, and I'll be working more to do that. Any other? Yes.
Two questions.
Absolutely.
So, how long are we gonna go by? Does the world can open back up at some point? Are we just gonna stay by these for the rest of
It's a
our life?
great question.
Are we gonna slowly wean off, or one day we're gonna say, we're done with this?
As long as we feel like.
Repeat the question, sir.
Okay, the question is how long are we going to follow these guidelines and continue this? Are we going to just do this permanently or indefinitely? Are we going to wean off of it? The only answer I can give you, and this is the only clarity I have, is I don't know. I'm not clear. And the reason why is because, I mean, churches could start meeting and, in 2 months, we could have another outbreak of this and we got to change.
I wouldn't say anything condescending, I just wondering what.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, putting more people in our room, our goal would be put more people in our room. Lifeway Online's not going away. Kids Life Online, not going away. Taking our offerings are going to stay like they are because when you're doing TV church, it's very hard to take an offering in the middle of the service. What do people do when they're sitting there waiting for that to happen? So that kind of thing it'll go away now. We will need our ushers, instead of helping take offering, we need our ushers to help seat people and get people moved around. That's what we'll need ushers for. We need male and female ushers because some females are more comfortable whenever a female asks them, how can I help you, or where can I direct you, or that sort of thing. So we just don't know. My guess is that at least until August, these are going to be our guidelines, and then we'll see what happens. When school starts back, that's going to be a big indicator for everybody what's going to happen. But even with that, I've been in enough of the educational meetings for our state, school's not going back like normal. So I think probably what we will see, we actually already looked at moving our coffee bar outside before this happened, so we could open our lobby space up for more gathering. Coffee bar will probably stay outside. That's probably just from here on out. Whether or not we'll hand coffee out or not, that's yet to be seen. Having people opening doors, we've been doing that anyway for the most part. So a lot of those things are not really any changes. It's just being more intentional about it.
And then second,
Yes, sir.
non-COVID related. So you said that y'all were gonna make a video showing
What to expect. Yeah, we are going to do a video of what to expect. Like, we want people to know that Susan will be there, and you won't be pumping your coffee anymore because we don't want you touching those things because we don't want multiple hands touching it. So Susan will be there with gloves and masks. She will pump your coffee and hand it to you. Someone else will hand you your condiments. Again, gloved and masked. We talked a little bit about maybe putting those condiments in bags. We're going to figure that part out. But that will be done. And then when a person comes to the door, Mike and Lynn's on this week. They open the door, and or the door's open, and those people come in, and they'll just direct those people to say, if you'll follow up to the auditorium doors, there'll be an usher there who will help you find seating. Then your ushers, your job is, how many's in your party? Is there anyone here that you're sitting with? You can do that sort of thing. And then you would point them to those seats.
What I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
since y'all doing a video for that, I know a bunch of people that come here do not know what to do if there was an active shooter. Can the security team make a video of what to do in that scenario?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, this is not like we're putting up this week, but.
Yeah.
As a reference, because I know that there's a lot of people here that would not know what to do.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that they know that they're going to be safe.
Yep, that's a great idea. I like it. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
As far as guest services, normally, if we were to have first-time guests show up
Yes.
Sunday, who, obviously didn't know, pre-registered,
Right.
that kind of thing, are we still doing our first-time gift for them visiting, or?
Great question. So, what we've done, we'll be working through that process this week. One of the things that we've done on our new website is we have a button called Plan a Visit. And a person can click that button and fill it out. Sherry will get an email that says, I'm coming on this date, I'm coming with this many people, I've got these children and that sort of thing. And what we've committed to them is give them special treatment on that day. So I can't speak because we're still trying to figure the other parts out as far as people to show up, but we have put that in, and we will be pushing that in all of our information.
And any kind of sales of any of the?
I'm not worried about that right now. Again, the big thing is to get the door open, to get people in here so they can worship and hear the word, and their children can hear about Jesus.
What about our goals as far as dismissal, like for us?
Guest services, what you would want to do is, again, we're going to have to reformat. I realize that our layout is a little flawed because it blocks people. So if somebody's talking to you guest services, they can't really get the space that they need. We'll have to figure that out this week, but what we would do is have a separated area for guest services to be at so that people can step over. We actually were trying to put two of those desks together to create that separation, but we need this, we don't have enough stanchions to make it happen without using those.
So we do need to go back out.
Yeah, because if somebody doesn't do contact tracing beforehand, they may come by and do that at that point in time. Anybody else? Okay. I think those are the main things that I had in our cleaning. We bought chemicals that are recommended by the CDC to clean everything. Everything will be cleaned this week. Everything will be sanitized this week. We have a lot of little loose ends to tie up this week, but we should have everything in place. We will have everything that's necessary for us in place to meet next Sunday. We have two different kinds of gloves. If you're part of the cleaning team, just so you know, we have a heavy duty, is that a 10 mil glove? 6 mil, something.
The 6 mil is
The black ones. Okay, so we have some gloves that are 6 mil black rhino gloves. They're used for cleaning. Those of you who are on guest services, if you're using gloves, we have these that are more skin tone. Hopefully it won't be as offensive, like your EMT worker handing out coffee. IV bag or laying on the floor around or something. So we try to find something to be able to. I'm sorry? Yeah. We have a medium and a large, and if there's a problem and your hands won't fit in that and go to the hospital, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know. So we can look at getting another size, but these are the sizes they had available. All right. Yes, ma'am.
So since we don't have, non-touch in the bathrooms, are we, whoever is letting people into the bathroom, are we sanitizing after people
Great question. That is where this whole conversation is that the CDC's been having with religious organizations about how do we have manpower unless you pay somebody to clean bathrooms after every person uses the bathroom. And at this point in time, we had not planned to clean after every use. What we did plan to do was put a hand sanitizing station outside the bathroom door so that when a person came out of the bathroom, they could hand sanitize their hands, even if they touched bathroom faucets and all those sorts of things. What we are wanting to do is we are wanting to sanitize the bathrooms during the service. So have each of the men and ladies' restroom clean. The other thing that was recommended is that we like in our ladies' restroom, we have 3 stalls, and we close 2 of the stalls, we have 1 stall open, the handicap stall. The men's restroom, it's only a urinal and stall, so it's not a big deal, but that way it would limit the amount of cleaning. And basically go in with gloves and those wipes and wipe all the surface stuff down. That's all they ask us to do. So that's kind of, Sherry, you anything to add on that? Our primary focus is that we can get those bathrooms clean during the service one time. That's our big thing. Again, the CDC, they have their way. Their thing is don't use bathrooms at all. So I drink 4 bottles of water every Sunday morning before I ever step on stage. So I'm going to use a bathroom somewhere.
Can we just determine for ourselves, just for asking how bad we really need?
There you go. There you go. You make that decision for yourself.
20 more minutes, man, 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? Anybody else have any questions? Again, guys, I want you to feel safe, bottom line. And the same thing I told our Kids Life people when they were in here an hour ago is that you make the decision for you. And we're gonna practice an abundance of grace regardless of your decision. If you feel like it is not safe for you to come to church, then we accept that's your decision and we're cool with it. That's how we're going to keep offering Lifeline Online. But if you feel comfortable being here, and again, I know we're every spectrum. We got some people that this is the biggest crock they've ever heard, and other people think that we're about to all see Jesus. Okay? And I mentioned this to our Kids Life workers. There's a Venn diagram going around this week with a pastor in the middle and all these different opinions about COVID-19. That has been my life for the last however many weeks this has been going on. And I know Sherry, she's heard me talk about it, yell about it quite a few times. Because it's frustrating, because I want to accommodate everybody. But the key word, we saw this in a Kids Life resource this past week, is that we just practice grace with everybody. You know, if you see someone that's not coming to church, and they might be at Walmart, you're going, you come to Walmart, but you won't come to church. Look, just have grace. Just have grace. And if they are coming and you decide that you're not going to come, that's their decision. Just have grace, because you want them to have that same grace on you. So, Holly.
All right. This is the bottom piece that you said earlier, we'll have to turn people away if we get over that 92 limit. I would be willing to go sit in my car or sit next door or something else and listen, because now, I mean, with what's going on, hopefully this is gonna drive people to church.
Yeah.
So, I mean, could we have a list of people set to the side that would be like me, that would be willing to go and watch it live in my car or somewhere else that would be of our seat?
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely. I mean, that's my biggest struggle. And unfortunately, we don't have the overflow space just yet, but hopefully within the next month, we'll get that multipurpose area up and running for that, or working toward that. That's had to be put on hold because we just couldn't get out here. I mean, Ronnie did all he could do by himself, and now it's time for us to get that ready, because that's what that area needs to be for now, is overflow. But I totally agree. And there's no doubt in my mind, if somebody showed up, it was a first-time person, that we're going to figure that out. You know, we're not just going to say, I'm sorry, we're full. We're not going to figure that out, but we're going to have to let guest services and our host team work through that process every week. And I think we probably have a pretty good idea in our mind of who would say, hey, I'll step over next door. And that's the other thing. We can't have a TV in the lobby area next door for people who want to do that. and just, watch there, put some chairs in there and watch there on TV. The kids' life area is fully occupied, so there's no really room over there. We can add 10 chairs. I've measured off 10, we put 10 chairs in our lobby, and leave the doors open if we wanted to, or put it on the TV out there, but probably just have the doors open. So we probably
Yeah,
can,
I don't like that idea.
and it's not as fun, is it?
Yeah, if you've got a brand new person and they're
Yeah.
sitting out
Oh,
there.
yeah, I would actually just move you out there and bring them in. I want to be clear. I'm just kidding. Anybody else?
For county people, as they come in, to make sure where we're at as far as.
We will be measuring, probably two ways. We'll probably be checking that, but we'll be watching our seating again. That's the thing, if somebody comes in and they're coming by themselves, and there's nowhere to, they take up 3 chairs. One person takes up three chairs if they come by themselves. Now again, I know that, like, you've been around some people in your small group, so you can sit with your small group people, and that works great. Again, I know my mom's already told me, she goes, Guynell will sit with me, and Linda will sit with me, and so she's got her 4 or 5, she'll fill a row up, she's fine with it, okay? And it's fine if there's a chair here and there, that's all good. But one thing we have to keep in mind, and I'll communicate this as much as I can this week, is come with your group, or at least know how many's in your party, so we can get you together so that those things are maintained. Holly, to go back to what you said, I had first-time people who've never been here who sent me messages today after our service asking, when are you opening up? We want to come. When are you opening up? We want to come. And I asked them to call the church office this week and get their name on the list. So we're trying to.
People that have been here one time.
Never been here. Never been here. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, we've had a number of people from our area who've watched Lifeway that have never been to Lifeway before. And they're interested to know more. They want to see what it's like. And we've had those conversations. I mean, we've had people that I never would expect to show up online and send private messages. Alvin? Anything? Okay.
I think we should definitely set up the lobby as an emergency overflow.
Okay.
Because, I'll be the first one, gladly be the first one to get up and kick all out.
Well, and again, in that number, 94, there's 4 guys who operate sound. Alvin has to be in the lobby. There's 3 guys that are back there. I'm going to be on the stage. So immediately, out of that 90 or out of that 80 people we have signed up, 76, 80, whatever it is, there's 5 or 6 guys right there that are going to be on stage. So there's some extra spaces. But those are things that we just have to be mindful of. And this week, one of our conversations in our home was Robin called Hannah and said, are you and Zach going to be at church? And Hannah said, I've already signed up. She goes, well, we need to sit together so we can sit in an area that has 3 chairs and we're not taking up a section of 4 or a section of 5. So if you know people like that, if there's people you've been around that you're comfortable around, then ask them. Just, get together, come together. So whatever that means. How do you have to sit with them? That's not a choice.
We're already trying to find another spot for us.
Okay.
They're set with, maybe she doesn't know.
There, okay, that works. And see, that is the thing. Like, I know JJ's been around you guys. Y'all been around. So, if Becky and JJ are here, and there's, you guys, we can get you together in a similar area. All right. I know there's something I haven't thought of, or haven't remembered, but we may communicate more during the week. Anything, Sherry?
Amen.
Two. So here's, I'm gonna, I'll do that to Sherry. I told her I was gonna have her stand back there and y'all all turn and face her and let her talk. And I'm not gonna do that. There you go, there's an audience for you. So she would make sure she didn't have to get in front of anybody. If you have questions, just ask. If you have things that are not clear, then ask us to clarify. If you are uncertain, by all means be uncertain. If you feel like you need to stay home, by all means stay at home. I will mention this, we talked about kids like how we're going to handle somebody who shows up that we think is sick. We are going to have mask number 1 that will give them a mask and we'll ask them to leave. Bottom line. We just can't risk it. You know, again, I want to be super sensitive, like to a guest or first time person, but that being said, we have to be aware. So if someone shows up and there's any evidence that there might be sickness, now let me say this. There are people who have persistent coughs that do not have COVID-19. It's just part of life. So just because somebody's coughing doesn't mean they're sick. So just be aware. What? Allergy season. Yeah. I mean, if you're in here on a Sunday morning before you guys see what's going on this stage, there's 4 or 5 of us standing across here that are vocalists, and the pollen just kills us. So we're coughing, and I mean, it's just not pretty. Okay, it might be pretty when we come on stage online, but it's not pretty before that because we're trying to get through that. And so we're hacking and coughing, but none of us have had any exposure that we know of. We've not been around anybody for that. So just protect yourself, make the choice that you need to make, and give grace to those people who make a different choice. That's hi.
Did you mention that Kids Life sign up will be outside?
Thank you. I don't think I did. Kids Life registration will be at the double door outside. We have an awning and a table that will be set up over there for them. They will register there. Parents will not be allowed to go into the building. They will be dropping their children off. And we've asked our Kids Life volunteers, our servant leaders, if you're not serving this month or this week, if you would come over and just help us escort children to the proper places. We're trying to do that, but we want to keep any extra adults that we can out of that area. But registration will happen outside, just to the double doors that we don't normally use. So we tried not to use those, but this just requires us to do that now.
You okay to go get trash after?
Yeah, afterwards we get the trash. The door between Kids Life and the Kids Life building in our lobby area, the only time that door will be used during service time is for children who have to go to the bathroom. But after the service is over, the building will be open because we'll start cleaning and sanitizing everything. Barbara.
I know that the bus and guest services were typically on a 2-person rotation, but I'm assuming we need all hands on deck.
As many people as we can serve and will serve, we need them to serve. There is just so many things, and again, I know there are things we hadn't even thought about. And we're probably one of the churches that has more forward thinking in this. We've had churches from all over the country who contacted us. I don't know why, but contacted us and says, what's your policy and what's your protocol? When are you going back? And it's been crazy. But they're just through a couple of contacts we had that opportunity in. So I'm sure things we haven't thought of will come up. Hey. At Kids Life, they'll be handling their own doors. Yep. They will have, again, people there who will be escorting them. The registration is actually outside. So the doors, yeah, there'll be somebody over there that'll open them. Yeah, we won't have to worry about that. So, anybody else? I'm ready to be back. Hope y'all are ready. Okay? Next Sunday's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It's probably going to have a lot of problems, and we'll figure it out between then and the next week. And then there'll be some problems, we'll figure it out again between then and the next week. All right. I know that June 6th, is that the first Sunday in June? I think it is. 7th? Okay. I know that Sunday is going to be a very sparse day in terms of servant leaders. We have a lot of servant leaders who are on vacation that weekend, traveling literally to different places, family things. But because of that, just know that if you're available that day, please be here and be a part of that so that we have enough volunteers. Yes, sir.
Now, I'm just gonna say, let's not forget who we are. You know, we're authentic, transparent, you know, and not being anybody that we're not, you know, still keep being you.
Yep, absolutely. Be who you are. That's one of the things people that they say they love about us is the authenticity they feel here. They feel like we're just regular people like them. All right. I think that's it. If you have questions, stick around and ask. If you want to look around at what we've done, feel free to look around. Don't touch anything. All right, guys. Thanks.